Welcome to the IME Community Podcast, where self-love is your superpower to achieve your weight and life goals and make your mark in the world. Your host is Dr. Karla, activist, MD. If you're a teen who's looking to revolutionize your health and can't wait to follow your dreams, welcome to the IME Community.
Community, welcome to the YouTube video and podcast. I decided to release the first coaching call within the member community as a YouTube video and podcast because there's so much amazing information to help you all get a great idea of all of the amazing content that's within the member community. And I'm going to encourage you all to go to imecommunity.com and join the community, check everything out. There's a lot of amazing free stuff, but also the member community is just a $24.95 a month, $249 for an annual subscription to IME Community, member community. And you get so much amazing content and live coaching with me. You'll have all the support that I have. I have created courses in there for you. Don't worry, it's not like school. And it's just going to be a blast. I mean, we have a messaging board in there. We're going to be doing challenges, giveaways, and it's really an amazing place where you belong, where the choices are all yours and you have all the power, and we're going to co-create it together. So I'm so excited to share all of the amazingness of IME Community, member community with you. And so bear with me as this coaching call got going. I was kind of goofing around, not knowing it was being recorded, but that's just kind of how I am. And then midway through, my dog, Violet, who barks all the time, is barking a lot. So you'll probably get used to hearing her, especially if you join the member community, because I can't always keep her quiet, but that's okay. And anyway, so welcome, check it all out. Feel free to message me if you have any more questions. And I'm so excited to share all of this amazingness with you. All right, thanks. Hey everyone, welcome to the first IME Community coaching call. I'm so excited you're here. I'm so excited you're listening because we're just getting it started. So we're just growing members. So it's going to take a while, but thought we would come on, and I'm going to welcome Helen and Logan, who are IME Community social media strategists, onto the call tonight. So they'll probably have some questions or maybe some other input. They've both been working for a few months with IME Community as we've been working to get this thing launched, and we're all so excited about it. So thought tonight what I could go over with you all is just some of the pieces or parts of the community. So and then go through the different course content, talk a little bit more about life coaching and the coaching calls, and make sure you get those on your calendar. And also tell you a little bit more just about my philosophy. And if Logan and Helen have some questions, they can just ask away, or anyway, so we'll get going. So first of all, again, thank you for signing up to be an IME Community member. It's so awesome. I feel like I've worked for almost 2 decades to get here, and I'm having so much fun. And I know you guys are going to have fun because I'm having fun. And the way that I look at it is like almost like a city that, we have the grid, we have the, the map, and we have the essential functions laid out here, but we're going to co-create this thing together, and it's going to be awesome. So we're not, all of us on this team aren't coming and saying, oh, this is exactly how it's going to be. We're so excited to see how it's going to grow and move and change, and what's going to hit and what isn't. So when you sign on, you probably saw that there's the top navigation bar that's under the website's navigation bar, and there's the dashboard and content courses and coaching calls and connect and my account. And so the dashboard is the page that has basically, that's your home page for the member community. So it has that picture of me that shows all my wrinkles looking at the laptop. And then it has the welcome video. Basically, the welcome video, it's a short video that I put together, and it's really showing you that I have your back. I created this like kind of like an IME community radio station, and it has that vibe and that feel, and I love music. And so I feel like I'm the backup singer, you're the rock star, and I can't wait to see what hits you're gonna have. So I always have your back. Think of me like one of your helpers as you're on this amazing health journey. So I'm so excited to do that. There's a new IME community, like Rockstar member playlist that you should download and maybe print off or just take a look at least. It shows you just like, I think there's 6 different steps on there. And I always try to put a playlist in there of different songs, but you can create your own. And it shows you just like where to start and all the different steps to take to get you going as a new member of IME Community. So I would say check that out. I think the last thing I put on there was to get like either a journal or a spiral notebook, which you guys have probably a ton of those laying around that are empty or half empty or partially filled. And so just grab that, because you'll want to document all this stuff. It's so cool to look back and see like how far you've come or all the work you put in. And you'll want to start doing what are called thought downloads. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but just every day doing a brain dump for a few minutes, getting that down on paper, that'll tell you kind of where your head is at, what kind of things are coming up for you, and maybe show you like what you need coaching on or where you're getting stuck. And so that was, I think, the last thing on the new member Rockstar playlist that I suggest you getting. And then when you scroll down from there, there's like 8 different like rectangle like tabs that you can click on that have all the, so easy access to all the IME community, like free stuff. There's so much on there already. And I'm going to keep growing and adding to that. So there's the podcast, and we have Apple and Spotify, so you can click on those. So get subscribed to those and start listening, and I'll keep adding. I'm so excited. I think my next one I'm going to do is do not tell me what to eat, which I'm really excited about that because I kind of have that rebellious, I don't like people telling me what to do. And I'm reading this cool book called Helping People Change. And it talks about coaching with compliance versus coaching with compassion. And when you tell people what to do, automatically it's called the NEA, negative emotion attractor. And it brings up negative emotions. And that's not what we need when we're trying to make a change in our lives. So we need things that make us feel like we are moving toward our ideal self and our personal vision for ourselves, and that evokes PEA, positive emotion attractors. So anyway, I'm excited about that. Do not tell me what to eat. Stay tuned. And so get the podcast, check out the YouTube channel, and again, subscribe to that. And the Logan's on there. I did some coaching with him. That's like a 45-minute long session. And I'll talk a little bit more about the coaching calls. Usually coaching isn't that long. But so poor guy. And that was the edited version. But anyway, you can get an idea of what coaching is like if you listen to that one. But watch the YouTubes. I think they're all really helpful. I, on purpose, created all of those as the foundational YouTubes and podcasts for IME Community, based on all of the life coaching that I have done myself. So life coaching is for people. People don't become life coaches until you've gone through it all yourself. Like, you cannot coach on weight very well if you haven't gone through your own weight loss journey. It just didn't It doesn't help that much. I've gone through so much life coaching over the last like 4 years, and I found it to be so transformational. And some of the pieces that I think, and parts of it that I think are the most helpful, are the self-compassion. That's why I say like self-love is your superpower. So I see the problem. That's the biggest problem that maybe I think that you all have or that I've had, and how I can help by creating a YouTube or podcast around that topic. So the first one is the 5 steps to say I am me, which is also a course in this member community, which I want you to do. And that full self-acceptance is available to you right now. Okay. And it has nothing to do with your weight. And it's a daily habit practice. And it's your first step on your way to self-love superpower. And then there's podcasts in there about find your helper. There's reframing 2020. And even if you think, oh, I don't need to reframe 2020, I moved on to 2021. It's the skill of being able to reframe things and decide like what you're going to take with you moving forward versus what you're going to just dump in the trash. Okay. And reframing is a really amazing skill. Okay. And then create community is my favorite YouTube and podcast out of the 13 that are on there now. And that's my whole vision, is create community. So create community in 2021 is an intentional community build. We're doing it with IME Community, but you have tons of communities in your life. So you can decide. You may have some you want to let go of. Bye. And you may have some that you want to just really intentionally create and be more inclusive. And so I really want you to work on that one and listen to that one and really work on creating community in 2021. There's some on self-judging, which is like stop self-judging is what I was going to call it. And then I thought, well, we can't fully stop it because it's always going to be there. But we cause ourselves, more harm with that. We all have that inner critic, that negative self-talk that comes up. And we think that that's what drives our achievements. And I mean, come on. I mean, along the way, that's probably helped us a little bit, kick us in gear, get us going, motivate us. But it doesn't. And so it doesn't help us move toward really our desired outcomes or long lasting sustainable change. And Logan and I talked about this when I coached him, was that we don't learn about self-compassion or self-love. And maybe we even think it's weak or feeling our emotions. And we really know that, like, even from the research of Dr. Brene Brown, vulnerability is courage. And leaders who feel their emotions and are vulnerable and they're courageous and they're successful. And so it's a skill that we just work on. So stop self-judging. And then there's another one. Are you me? Clearly you're not. And that one's about when you feel like everyone else is judging you everywhere you go. And sometimes we feel like that's happening based on weight or for another reason or something about us where we feel like everybody else is judging us, and then the harm that causes. It's like, maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but it's like, are you me? Let them be them. Let them be wrong about you. Okay. So anyway, all these things are about, things that I think are just really super important and foundational. And so that's why I populated it with those. There's 13 on there now. And then I'm going to be do not tell me what to eat. It's a cool podcast on there with Peter Allman. He's a therapist in Lincoln. He's a writer. He wrote Thoughts, the Power of Your Mind, which is an awesome book. And it's really similar. It's a great conversation between a therapist and a life coach that goes through like how life coaching works too, and shows that how you can create, if you create awareness of your thoughts, then that's so powerful, because it's your thoughts that create your feelings, and your feelings create your actions or behaviors. And we think it's the circumstances in our lives, but our circumstances can trigger our thoughts, but it's really our thoughts that we are attached to and think that we have to keep believing. And once you're aware of them, it just gives a little space and opening to start thinking of them, like Pete says, as a rainbow. They come and they go. I think about clouds going by, or a sentence in your mind. And so that's a really great podcast. And I really like that one in the YouTube video. And like I said, there's Logan's in there with coaching. So check all those out. The more you show up, I mean, the more you're going to get out of it and the more results you're going to create. So lots of free stuff there. I also have a lot of amazing blogs. And one of the YouTubes and podcasts is coaching for parents. And so you might want to have your parents listen to that one. And I coach about the visit to the doctor when you talk about the weight and the body mass index and show the growth chart and how to kind of do some pre-work before that and after that visit too. Okay. So I think that one's a super helpful one too. And okay, so lots of free stuff there. You can connect on, see where each of those tabs go. And then you scroll down on the dashboard and there's the bonus content, the courses. There are 4 courses on there now. And again, those are like the foundational courses. And don't worry, it's not like school. They're short. And then they each have like a printable, downloadable that you can print off or just download and do and work on. I would start with the Coach You. There's 4 videos and there are 4 printables that go with each of those videos. And those will teach you the foundational principles of life coaching. And the first one is Thoughts, Anyone? And it teaches you just the stuff that I was teaching you about thoughts. And then the second one is about All Together Now is about the thought model. And so you'll learn about how we have basically 5 parts to what's called the thought model, and you'll learn all about it. It's going to be an amazing tool to help you organize your mind around a problem. And the third one is called Changes. And that one, I teach you how you can move toward create new results by using an intentional thought model and start to create beliefs on purpose that serve you and where you want to go and what results you want. And then the fourth one is I Got a Feeling, which is feeling your emotions. And that's just like an introduction to start to feel your emotions so that we can feel our emotions and we don't have to buffer or react or resist or avoid. Okay. So start there. The next one I would do is the 5 easy steps to say I am me. That's the 5 steps to full self-acceptance. And that one is just it's really short and it has then a printable, and it starts with the first step is just recognize that self-acceptance is always available to you, like a warm self-acceptance blanket. And I just love it so much. And I love practicing it, and it teaches you that it's just a daily intentional habit practice. There's no summit like where you're like, I'm always going to have full acceptance from now. I mean, we're always going to have these things come up in our lives. It's just, we're humans, right? It's always going to, our brains are going to do that. And there's nothing going wrong. We talked about that, Logan, too. That's helpful to know. I'm just a human having a human experience, having a human emotion on here. There's nothing going wrong if I'm feeling uncomfortable. It's okay. So self-acceptance, 5 easy steps to say I am me. And then you can either do 10 steps to self-trust eating, which I created. That's a video that's pretty short, but it does have a lot of steps in it. And then it has just one simple printable. I will be adding to that one. I think I'm going to create a workbook after I created that course. And I love that course because that's what we all want, right? Is self-trust eating. And the most important thing you're ever going to learn with any sort of coaching or anything is that your relationship with yourself is really the only relationship that matters. That's why self-love is superpower, okay? How you love other people is going to come from how you love yourself. So that's why self-trust eating starts with your relationship with yourself, okay? And the first step in that, well, first of all, in the introduction, I talk a lot about why in our society, it's all anti-self-trust. I mean, if you think about it, like food companies and health systems and diet plans, and everything's telling you, don't trust yourself, buy this. You need fixing, you're broken, buy this. Okay, it works for a little bit and nothing is going to be sustainable, right? And I show you why the science backs that up, why that doesn't work. Okay, it just doesn't work physiologically for us to be for those quick fixes to work. And so then you go off it and then it doesn't last. So then you think, oh, I need to go back on that. Okay. And so that's kind of the intro, is like, but what if you could trust yourself? What if you could? And you can, and that is available to you. And the first step of self-trust eating is to reject dieting mentality or thinking, because it doesn't work. Again, like I said earlier in this call, it brings up NEA, negative emotion attractor. Anything that does that, rigidity, harshness, on again, off again, it is not going to work. It's going to be restrict and indulge, restrict and indulge. Okay. And it's not coming self-directed. And you can think of all the things in your life that, I mean, we all have things that we remember like, oh, that was super self-directed. Like that was something I wanted to do. And you took it on. And that is a totally different feeling looking back on that in your life than like a class you wanted to take, or I don't know, a project or something you wanted to try out for, something you wanted to create or make. Anything that's, when it feels like it's coming from you and you really intentionally want to do it. Yeah, that's great. That's all the personal vision, ideal self, positive emotions that you need to get your desired outcome and sustainable change in your life. It's awesome. Okay. So that's that one. And then the other one is make it fun to get it done. So, this course was created, and it's just the podcast YouTube video plus the PDF of the 3-day email challenge, which I think is super fun. The second day is using like the Dunder Mifflin staff and some of the GIFs, but that come up in the email is really fun. But anyway, I was coaching teens. It's COVID. No one's having any fun. No one's motivated. We don't have energy. There's things we have to do. So what are we going to do? Like if you have something you got to do, it's a got to do. I got to do it. You got to try to make it fun to get it done. What if you made it fun to get it done? What if you yourself could create that? And Logan and we coached a little bit on that. And he was like, well, I like that concept, but I can't really think of a paper being fun. It's like, well, you can't convince yourself that the paper is fun, but there may be other pieces of it that you can create fun around, or pump yourself up, or what are you going to do for the party to celebrate and measure your success when you are done? And what's in your way? Is perfectionism in your way? And you think that on the first draft, I have to get an A. Try B- work on the first draft. Try, what are you going to do when it's done? The main thing is though, that I see, and the first step is to own it. So whenever you may have thoughts coming up, the teacher's making me do this, my parents made me take this class, I don't know. I hate this book that I have to read. When those are coming up for you, you're not owning it. And so you're never going to be able to like make it fun to get it done. So it's good to take time to do, like, get your notebook or your journal or whatever, and do a thought download and find out what are your fixed thoughts that you're like attached to before you're doing this, and you might as well try it. And so pick something, it doesn't matter what, and then just try it. Like, how can I make this more pleasant, for myself? So those are all the courses. And then the other thing is well, first of all, Logan and Helen, do you have any questions about that or thoughts? Okay. And then the next thing is the coaching calls. So you can click on there and see that we have coaching calls now on like Tuesday and Thursday at 7. And also we'll probably add some in. We'll have some fun things that are coming up, and that schedule may change. This is what we're starting with. And then there's a parent coaching like coffee talk on Saturday mornings on the second Saturday of the month at 9 a.m. So tell your parents about that. That's for the IME community member parents. And we'll also have a Facebook page for parents, which I'm really excited about. So on the coaching calls, like this one, they're going to be Zoom, which is fun. And you guys are experts at Zoom now. So awesome. And they may be topic related, different topics, or they may be just like general life coaching. And feel free to chat in any questions either in the Q&A or the chat, and I will answer those. And we can coach that way if you have something coming up, or if you're interested in like raising your hand, and I can bring you on and we can do some live coaching. And life coaching is problem solving. It's creating awareness of your current thinking and how your current thinking is what creates your current results or reality. It is helping you get perspective on your mind. It's amazing. I always learn so much. Like I just think about like that life coaching session with Logan, and I still think about some of the thoughts that you came up with, Logan. Like you were like, and I incorporated it into one of my courses, thinking about thinking. We're thinking about thinking here, you know? And there were just a lot of things. I mean, your mind is amazing, and it's really cool to be like, oh, wow. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't want to know like that there's some thought or belief coming up and that's going to be more painful. Well, it's there anyway. And just having that awareness and shining a little bit of light on it is super helpful. And then you'll understand that your feeling that you're having is coming from that thought. Okay. And that your feelings drive your actions or your inactions. And then your actions create your results. And so that's part of coaching is creating that thought awareness. And then also we work on, like, if you have a goal, a desired outcome that you want to start working on goals. So goal slaying, seemingly impossible goals. You want to take massive action. If you feel like you're stuck, like you're indulging in overwhelm, you're a perfectionist, you're worrying, you're fearful, you have self-doubt, or there's too many obstacles in your way, it's usually your thoughts about that. Okay. So life coaching is amazing. I don't tell you what to do. It's not me telling you what to do. You don't need that. All you need is the awareness of your mind. So it's not looking at the symptom. It's looking at the cause, actually. The root cause of it, again, is the attachment to the thought. So I talk about that in the Coach You course. If the symptom is overeating, then if I were just treating the symptom, then we got exactly what we're getting in our society everywhere we go. Eat less, move more. Well, that's not helpful. That's not helpful at all, right? So, but if you look at the root cause of it, and I'm not saying it's your thinking, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, like over desire, over hunger, and all the variables, then we work through that and your thoughts around that, and as opposed to just like simple treatment of the symptom. Okay. So let's see. Also, if you have like a pressing problem, and it can be anything, like that's the thing with, when we're working on weight and life issues, body image, I mean, we're all living our lives, we're whole beings. So, there's things that come up that cause, either stress or, and so, we're going to have issues with, relationships and family, issues or friends. And so there's a whole smorgasbord and infinite possibilities of what you can get coached on. Okay. So the more you show up And the more you're willing to be coached, and the more you're willing to listen too, because it's super helpful to listen to other people get coached, even if you're not comfortable or you don't have something that's pressing on you right now. To get coached on is super helpful for you to show up and listen to the coaching that other teens are asking for. So let's make sure you get those on the calendar and that you show up. And I'm super excited about that. And also, we'll be doing fun stuff. We're going to be doing challenges, like 7-day challenges. We'll be doing merch giveaways. You guys will help me decide like what merch we want. I mean, we've already had conversations about this, but I don't want to create merch that nobody's interested in. But we're going to have so much fun. We could do make it fun to get it done sessions. We can have, dance parties. I mean, there's just endless opportunities in this community to really create fun. The whole thing can be fun. I mean, there's all these movements out there now that are like body positivity, which is amazing. And I totally embrace that. And at the same time, you can have health transformation. You get to do all of it. There's doesn't mean in the middle. You get to do that. In fact, it takes that. That's self-love superpower that gets you then to believe you can do whatever you want with your health too. Okay. And so if you show up, then you're going to create more results for yourself. Also, you own the thought work you do and the results you create. Okay. I'm always going to be here for you. I'm your backup singer. But I mean, all my coaches have been like, so clear about that it's you creating your results. Okay. And I want you to create amazing results, but I can't make you create results. So I always believe in your unlimited potential. I'm always going to love you. I'm always going to be here to support you. There's never anything going wrong. I will never think that there's any problems. I will never think that there's anything wrong with you at all. I'm always here to help. So just think of it that way. It's easy. Okay. That's very cool. And I think that's probably it for the site. Oh, no. I'm sorry. The connect on the dashboard is the message board. And obviously we're just starting this. So there's the code of conduct that is super sticky up at the top. And I want you guys to review it. And this message board is pretty open. I mean, you all can message each other. You can, I think, post forums and your own topics. And I want everybody to use it. And we're going to have some structure to it. I mean, I'll be on there a lot. Helen and Logan may be helping me to moderate and look at the posts along the way. They're busy college students, so it's going to depend on their schedule, but I'll be in there a lot. And I think it's really exciting. And that's kind of a big part of the community part. And again, no ads or sponsorships on this site. So that's really cool too. And you have your own member login. So let's all like really respect each other and support each other and create a really fun, supportive community in 2021 and moving forward. So I'm excited to see how that grows. And right now, I want you to review the code of conduct and be willing to start, getting your posts up and communicating and getting your wins. And I'm excited about that. So I think that's it for the dashboard. Any questions or comments that Logan and Helen have right now? No? Okay. Helen has a group project she's got to work on. And the other thing is, I wanted to tell you like kind of the 3 philosophies or the 3 components of IME Community, how I created it. First one is self-love is your superpower. And the second one is choose what works. And the third one is the life coaching. So the first one is the self-love superpower means learning the skills of self-compassion, because you're not going to want to take action if you're beating yourself up in your head about it, right? You're your own worst critic. And if you're giving all the power to the negativity, no, you're causing yourself pain, right? When you learn to have self-compassion and self-love no matter what, and have your own back as you are cultivating gold, because it takes a lot to create massive action and reach a seemingly impossible goal in your life. You all know that because you've done stuff with school and everything. So you need to have your own back. So that's that self-love superpower that I teach you. And then, because we're all human, we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to fail. There's no problem. There's no problem. You are on a human journey. You're going to feel all the discomfort and negative, what you think are negative emotions, and there's nothing going wrong. And you don't need to jump out and fix things and get rigid and harsh and judge yourself. So self-love superpower is the first, and I think the most important thing. And if you learn that, sometimes I think if I would have just learned that first, I think I would have been felt totally fine. I could have probably taken a 1 hour self-trust eating course, and I would have been like, okay. And then the second thing is choose what works. Okay. I have been a pediatrician who has spent so many years literally on like the healthcare side of this. And I've created clinics, and I've been the doctor for that clinic. And it's good work. It's important work. There are a lot of health issues that were addressed. And I want you to go to your doctor, and I want you to go to a psychologist, and I want you to go to the dietitian. I want you to get all that support. But we know that we've gotten it wrong overall in our society. Okay. As far as that kind of strict rigidity dieting mentality. Okay. And so I'll teach you all about this stuff, but I'm not going to waste your time at all. Like, I'm a super conceptual thinker. I like thinking big picture. And once I read like that more weight gain is more hormonal, and that it has more to do with the quality of the foods, and you can't just, and maybe you can just switch up what you're eating. But right now you're conditioned to typically, at least I was, your body was conditioned to eat foods that maybe didn't serve you. I mean, that's everywhere in our society, and that's been marketed to you, and we're conditioned to that and to buffer with that. And we have a lot of urges and cravings. Okay. There's nothing going wrong. You're just figuring it out. Okay. And we haven't been taught the right things, and our advice hasn't been that helpful in our society. Okay. And again, it brings up that NEA, the negative emotion attractors. And we want to move toward you choosing. You have the power of choice. I can give you the power of knowledge, and then you get to choose. And it doesn't matter where you start. It's all going to be good. And you have all the time in the world to figure it out, right? You're young. So, okay, choose self-love superpower, choose what works. And then the other thing is learning to unlock the power of your mind and learning all the life coaching tools. Because it's not a summit. You have to show up and do the intentional habit practice of mind management is basically what we call it. Like, what's in your way? What are the thoughts? What are the beliefs? And then the skill of cultivating a goal that you set for yourself. We're not used to doing that, right? It's all external. It's all like, and you all, I mean, are on that path. There's nothing wrong with all the external achievements. I mean, it's awesome, especially if you're self-directing and want to do them. We all have to do things we maybe aren't that interested in. And, but when everything is outside of ourselves, and we're not taught like to do something for ourselves and how to just cultivate a goal for ourselves and have integrity to show up for ourselves and keep a promise. I keep promises I make to myself, and to learn that self-worth. And it's just amazing tools and skills, and it's a practice. And so those are the three pieces that I think are so pivotal, important in how I created IME Community. So anyway, that is a lot of talking. I talk a lot. So today I've been so excited about launching the member community that I did a video, which my family's cringing about, but hey, all my Facebook friends are loving it. who are my age. Dancing with Myself, cool song by Billy Idol, which I love, from the 80s. And I have my 80s outfit on and my sunglasses, which are really cool and come in handy when you have a ring light. And so I did Dancing with Myself because today's Doctor's Day. And I thought, I'm a doctor who's kind of been a rebel like Billy Idol. And if you don't know who he is, check him out. He's awesome. And I think I've been, my theme song is Dancing with Myself. I'm creating IME Community. So I hope you guys all feel the power of the individual along with the support of an amazing community. So that's a lot for our first coaching call, and we'll record. This is recorded and we'll put it on the site. And you guys, anytime you have any questions, you can put it in the message board under Connect, or you can feel free to email me, Dr. Karla, activistmd at imecommunity.com, which is a long email, I know, but feel free to email me at any time. And this is my work. This is my dream, my vision is create community. So I'm here to support you and be your helper and have your back. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you soon in the community. Do you have any questions, Logan or Helen, or anything to add? Not really? Okay. So the other thing I was going to tell you guys too is since Logan and Helen are doing social media for IME Community, I want you guys to really participate and check us out on IME Community. And I think there'll be a lot of really cool, amazing opportunities with some of the merch giveaways and stuff if you rep us on social, and we'll get into all this stuff, but we're excited to get going. So thanks for joining. And Logan's going to share an example of awareness. Go ahead.
So as the semester is progressing, hi everyone, by the way, my name is Logan, but just a small example of being aware of your thoughts is that recently I've been looking forward to an easier week, wondering when will it get easier? And that's kind of been my thought process. And as I reflected, I realized, well, it's actually not getting easier, it's getting harder. What can I do? What steps can I take to make the weeks easier because I'm putting in the work? So just that brief switching and thinking has given me an extra flame under my booty to help finish this semester strong.
Very cool. That's super helpful. Well, and I think that's so awesome. That's an awesome example of what's called a disempowering question and transitioning to an empowering question. Because we don't even know. It's like a thought comes up as a disempowering question. Why does this have to be so hard? Or when will this get easier? And you just automatically did that for yourself and created an empowering question. Yeah, that's cool. And you made it easier on yourself. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
All right. Did you got your paper done, right? Yeah.
Yes, and I did do well on it. I did get on it too. So
that can be the thing is is there really a problem? Because you get it done and you usually do well. So
it was completely fine.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for joining me tonight, Logan and Helen, and we'll see everyone in the community. All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the IME Community Podcast, where self-love is your superpower. The content of this podcast represents the opinions of Dr. Karla Lester and is not intended as, and shall not be understood as, a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The opinions shared reflect the host and guest and do not represent an organization or medical group. Always seek the advice of your physician or therapist if you have concerns about your health. And please, like and subscribe to the IME Community Podcast. Share IME with your friends and go to imecommunity.com to join the member community. Don't forget to follow IME on social.